Hi, folks. It's Don Ohsman again, HideNet.com. We're very privileged to have Nick Winters from Nick Winters Hide and Skins with us today for a short video on the upcoming forum in Shanghai put on by HideNet, APLF, and LMC. And Nick is going to be discussing with Mike Larson about the hide markets and about the validity of contracts. And Nick, before we go any further, you are also president of ICHSLTA. Could you please tell them a little brief thing of what ICHSLTA does?
Yeah, hi Don. Listen, the ICHSLTA is the International Council of Hides and Skins Leather Traders Association. So we're privileged to have, we've got the biggest traders on board with us. We've got the biggest tanners in the world in China and Taiwan. And the ICHSLTA has been around since 1929 and is governing what we call the international hide contracts, the hide and leather contracts number 6 and number 7.
So it's very appropriate that with what's going on with renegotiations that you're representing ICHSLTA at this conference, Shanghai, Sunday, right?
Correct. We have your forum on the Sunday, and then ICHSLTA, we have a midterm meeting on the Monday midday where we're sitting down and we're discussing exactly what's happening in the market, how people are being affected by contract default, and we have a few other internal things to talk about as well.
Good. So it'll be very interesting to see about the forum when you and Mike go at it with what's going on. In Europe, are the renegotiations as bad within Europe as they are in the Far East?
Look, I think everyone's been affected. One thing I would say about ICHSLTA is that we are not a court or a tribunal.
Right.
We are the organization governing the international contracts. We give advice on mediation, arbitration, and obviously, everyone has been affected in this Chinese slowdown. It's not just America.
Yes. Okay. So there's no in Italy is for example having any problems there. Any European tanners doing any funny things, or are they better than what seems to be taking place in the Far East?
Look, I'd be very careful to say that different countries are better than others. I think everyone's been affected. The European market is a little bit different. We've got we're lucky to have high Europe and a high percentage of, for example, the European bulls, which are going into the yes. automotive industry, actually remain in Europe.
Yes.
The market that seems to be the worst affected is the cow market, and a lot of those cows, as we know, are going out to the Far East. So those contracts have been a lot worse affected than the premium material.
I understand. Good. Okay. What do you think the Shanghai stock market crash and the world stock market crash, the commodity debacle, is going to affect hide prices coming into Shanghai in the next, even in this fall?
Well, look, I mean, who knew coming out of April that there would be such a meltdown in China? I think no one predicted that, even the best financial people in New York. And this slowdown has been very, very violent. So, look, I hope the worst is behind us all, and we'll be looking to consolidate and talk with our Chinese friends in Shanghai. And I hope that things move forward and markets move back up slowly.
But you think it could happen, even despite the economic malaise in the last week, market-wide?
Well, I mean, without getting into too much into detail on market reports, because that's your job, Don. But if we look at the moment, we've seen a lack of demand outweigh a lack of supply. And if we look at two of the big suppliers in the world, Brazil and the USA, I think they're both down 8 to 10%.
Yes.
I just did a quick calculation this morning here in France, and that means that we could be down by the end of the year 6.5 million hides. Now, 6.5 million hides, to put that in perspective, is twice the French kill, and the French kill is the largest in Europe. So that's a lot of hides.
So, and we're still selling plenty of leather products and plenty of leather.
Look, I think that, putting the Greek crisis out of the equation, I think Europe is in a better state than we were a year and a half ago. France and Germany, there's some growth, although it's not massive, but we seem to be out of recession. And China is still a massive country with a huge population. and maybe they don't need to buy leather shoes tomorrow, but they still need to buy consumer products. And I think hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months we'll see some more stability in the market.
Okay. You think hides are too cheap now? You think they're going to come back then as a result?
Don, if I knew that, I wouldn't be speaking to you.
Okay. Nick, thank you very, very much. We're looking forward to speaking with you Sunday in Shanghai. And anybody who sees this video, just send an email to forum@HideNet.com and we'll arrange a seat for you. There's not many seats left, but forum@HideNet.com, and you can get a registration and hear Nick live with Mike Larson debating the hide markets and the validity of contracts in Shanghai. Nick, thank you again.
Thanks, Don. Looking forward to seeing you all in Shanghai, and safe travels.